Yo, what's up guys? So with the new 2019 ban list, one of the best ritual decks of all time is now much more viable. That is going to be, of course, the Nekroz. You have Yugioh, which shuts down all of the extra deck stuff, and then on top of that you have Trishula, which can have Trishula's effect, and the fact that it does not target makes it so incredibly strong. But anyways, we're going to see it up against a lot of the newer stuff. We've got the Evil Eyes, another one of the newer archetypes that has come out. But unfortunately, its effect is going to be negated courtesy of Unicorn. But he's able to run over Unicorn, and he's just going to go ahead and attack over it and try to pop the Valk. But it was indeed saved over there. But he's going to go ahead and make it so the Nekroz cannot be targeted. But against this deck, guys, Trishula is going to be key here, because even though Ivesleen makes the monster immune to being targeted or destroyed, well, Trishula doesn't target, so that's going to be how it really beats the Evil Eyes. Now, another thing I want to mention, Evil Eyes is basically based off of a timer. This deck is all about paying some life points, of course with the Eye of Selene, which is the card that you need to have in the deck. If they get too low in life points, you can just start setting cards and you'll just straight up lose. So pretty much, if you get in a really good attack, the deck will just eventually lose to itself, because every time you're gaining a boost, which is basically whenever anything is activating via the monster's effect, you're just going to go ahead and boost up. Anytime an Evil Eye spell or each time you activate the monster's effect or another Evil Eye spell trap, you're going to gain extra attack, but the problem is that you're also going to be losing 500 life points, and unfortunately here, he's going to actually take the L. Even if he didn't activate it, he would have lost the next turn anyways, because, again, this deck, it needs to go off really fast, and, again, that Trishula really saved him, because he just got in one attack, and sometimes that's all you need to actually beat your opponent if they're playing Evil Eyes, which is kind of a way that you can beat the deck, because a lot of people were saying this deck is OP, and while it is very strong, it does have its weaknesses, which is basically you just try to outpace your opponent by just stalling. Which, again, they're going to be paying a lot of life points. He was actually playing a card that actually healed him up, which actually might not be that bad of an idea in that deck. But anyways, now we're going to go ahead and see it up against Malefics with, of course, the newer support. A lot of people are trying to play some Malefics over here. He's got that cool Stardust Dragon artwork. We're going to go ahead and swing for a lot of damage in one turn over there. But 2,500 life points. Let's go ahead and see what he's going to go ahead and do. He's going to go ahead and summon Valk over here, and he's going to go ahead and draw some extra cards, go for that prep. He's going to attack over that Malefic Stardust Dragon, because that Stardust Dragon technically does protect some of his cards, except during the battle phase it negates the effects. Anyways, he's going to go ahead and activate Gungnir's effect, a card that you don't see too often, but in this matchup it definitely proved itself to be worthy. Definitely saved him over here, because, well, he protected his Valk from being destroyed. He's going to go ahead and summon Trishula, and with that Stardust Dragon gone, unfortunately, the field spell is going to go ahead and go away too, of course, of Trishula. Stardust just prevents it from, what is it, face-up field spell cards cannot be destroyed by effects, but this is not destroying. I think the main thing that we're trying to showcase off is all the Nekroz effects, but specifically, Trishula just makes the deck so much more viable, and of course, with Shrit and all of the other support, makes the deck much better. Now, let's go ahead and see a matchup against Cubics. So, against Nekroz, sometimes what happens is, if they go ahead and know what deck you're playing, they just throw out that Unicorn, and it's pretty much a game over for most people that are playing a very Link-oriented deck. Or any like Plant Synchro deck, if you just summon this, it's just game over. And then also, this is a really good tech over here, the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. A really good addition to this deck, because, well, you can summon this and instantly have a win condition. I think playing one copy of it is not bad at all. Definitely a great card. He's going to go ahead and attack over at the Manju. But yeah, if you these two cards, just solid, excellent cards. And you know what I was also thinking that would be really good is that new Pot of Indulgence card. I know they recently changed the name in the TCG. Well, we'll talk about it in a second, because I think that in this deck, you really don't need your extra deck too often. I mean, yeah, some of the cards can help in certain circumstances, but overall, the deck is going to get majority of its wins, and for that extra consistency that you can have, it can be pretty nice. Now, it does have one of those cubic counters on it, and let's see if I can mouse over a card that puts a cubic counter. Where's that? Jam the Seed. Okay, we don't have it out yet, but the cubic counter obviously negates the effect of the monster, like can't attack. He's going to go ahead and attack once again over the monster over here. He basically has one turn. He's going to go ahead and Foolish Burial Goods and go ahead and summon the Cubic Beak. He's trying to attack right over it. He's probably going to... Let's see, where's the other one? When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack. Well, that's not going to be happening because, again, he basically just won off of this. And it's just like a really good tech that I think can be definitely used in this deck. But anyways, now that you guys have seen it in action, shout out to my boy Zemos for the games over here. But let's go ahead and go into a deck profile and talk a little bit about it. Like you said, you don't really need the extra deck, but with the new pot of, I know they changed it, the name in the TCG recently to something, but it's, oh, actually it just says OCG here. Pot, where is it? Spanish either. I guess it's just considered OCG. Technically the card's out in the TCG for sneak peek. But anyways, for the deck profile, of course, with the newer incantations, it definitely helps out the deck too. There's also a few Gishki cards here. The Shadow. I've seen a lot of other builds also run a few of the other Gishki stuff. There was one where you can get rid of some cards. I think that hurts the consistency of the deck, but I do like the tech of the Blue Eyes Chaos. It again just really helps out. But as far as the deck goes, if any of you guys would like a deck profile of this, here it is. So we have the Talismandra, 1 copy of that, and then we have 2 copies of the Bookstone, 3 copies of Manju, which is pretty standard, and we have 2 copies of Gishki Shadow. So if you ritual summon exactly 1 water ritual, this card can be used as the entire material of the card. Unfortunately, Shrit is still at 1 in the TCG, but in the OCG you can play 3. And then we have the Candle, and of course the Shrit that everyone's really excited to actually see, of course, courtesy of that ban list. And then we got the Pen Silver, and then we got 2 copies of Trishula, which, again, this basically makes the deck so much more viable. And of course with the 3 Bryos. In fact, what's Bryo like in the OCG? Yeah, pretty much in the OCG, it's you can run it much better, and they haven't had Nekroz do anything in quite some time. But the real good card is, of course, Yugioh. But, yeah, and then we have 2 copies of the Chalice Slime over here. Again, one of the incantation cards. And then we've got Gungnir. I don't know. This card and Decisive Armor. Let me go ahead and show you this other card, just in case any of you guys want to build the deck. Decisive... Oh, wait. It was a type of Nekroz. I actually don't know how they spell Decisive Armor. This card technically also did see some plays because it boosts up the monster. In case there's anything that has just too much attack and you just really need to run over it, and Trishula just happens to not be able to be a viable option, whatever the case may be. Decisive Armor has the effect where during either player's turn you can discard this card and make a Nekroz gain 1,000 attack and defense until the end of the turn. Sometimes you can use that other effect, but pretty much it's just used for, of course, the attack boost, which can really help out your Yugioh in the off chance that your opponent has like 1 out to it by getting like a stronger monster. And a lot of times what you'll see is people will try to force, brute force to run over this card, and then if you get rid of it, they just have no other options. But good stuff indeed. Yeah, again, Gungnir is one of those other cards where it can technically be used. It makes it so it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects this turn. I mean, both of them can be technically used. They're not bad cards at all, but if you guys want to drop out this card, feel free to go ahead and do so. And then, of course, with the Bryo, I mean, discarding this and then just adding any Nekroz monster is just insane. It's just a lot of searchability, and then obviously it throws in the grave for extra utility. And then we've got the 1 Yugioh, then the Clausolus over here. This one lets you add any Nekroz spell or trap. Like, the deck has really high consistency with, of course, this at 3 and this at 3 as well. And then we have 3 Prep Rights. You're going to be able to add a level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to hand, and then you can add 1 ritual spell from your graveyard. There's a lot of free pluses with that card. Then we have the 2 Mirror, 2 Kaleidoscope, and then we got the Incantation Celebration, and then the Nekroz Cycle, another really insanely strong card for the archetype. And then 3 of the Infinite Impermanence, of course, to deal with those tough boards. As far as the extra deck goes, you can technically utilize some of this stuff, but overall, I would say Herald of Arclight, definitely a very viable card, but overall, are you going to be making things that often? Probably not, but I always recommend I keep these 2 specifically. Well, specifically, Borreload deals with a lot of those problematic cards that you deal with. More than often, you're not going to be making most of these in the deck, but as far as cards that I would actually really recommend you guys to actually play, there is a play with this card as well. And I forgot what the one with the worm one was. But yeah, these are technically usable. We didn't see them in any of the replays, but someone can comment down below. It's been a while since I've seen Nekroz, but we didn't see any of these brought out. So I was thinking like you could even play like the Pot of Indulgence could be a great addition to this, but keep in mind though you can't draw cards with card effects, but obviously if you're searching, don't even worry about it. Easy stuff indeed. It's just basically, I believe it's going to be effect of Valk is about it. Yeah, I think Valk's about it. Wait, hold on. Actually, you tribute 2 monsters and draw the same. But yeah, I think you can go for it. And usually you're using Valk to survive anyways for the off effect of like when declare an attack, you banish one, and you just end the battle phase. So it's really good to protect your Yugioh with that as well. But yeah, I can see that this card being a very viable card. But anyways, felt like I ranted off long enough. But thank you, Simos, once again for the plays as well as the deck profile. If you guys would like to change this deck, let me know what you would think should be changed down below in the comment section below. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more of the new 2019 banless Yu-Gi-Oh decks in action. And if you guys got any cool replays, again, feel free to go ahead and send them into AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and peace out.